I'm Nick Watson.
And I'm Brie Watson. We have a very special guest here today joining us in the business center. Improviser, actor, motorcycler supreme, Moniquea Marion.
That's right. We are actually doing the podcast live from Staples.
That's right. Oh my God. I've often said that Staples is like my Prada. I'm so happy at Staples. Do you think they would
so
sponsor
much stationery
this
everywhere.
Oh my goodness. I just bought cork board that I'm going to put in my office. Just line the wall with cork.
That'd be really
you know
cool.
what? That'd be really good for the podcast too, because it's like a sound dampener.
Okay, great.
And a humongous vision board.
Yes, right.
Yeah, so you can just have an entire wall or room of visions.
That's right. I go in here for my visions.
This is where I vision quest. I don't actually go anywhere. I just visit my visions.
I can't really afford to go on vacation, so I just go into my office and look at my visions.
I imagine it. Wow, now I really want that.
The next time we do this, it'll be a video podcast of your new vision room.
Great.
Cool. So, Moniquea, Nick doesn't know you very well. I know you as an improviser. I've seen you perform all over the place. I watched as many of your 365 videos as I could get around to. That was such a cool project. So I'll ask you more about that later, but I guess I saw recently that you posted that you're going on a motorcycle adventure. Do you want to talk to us about that?
Okay, sure, yeah. I'm actually leaving tomorrow morning.
Oh my God, you just
got you in time then.
Yeah. Which is why I was around for the long weekend, because I was going to be leaving, so nobody wants to go away for a long weekend just to have a Saturday and then come back Sunday.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
I'm heading out west to British Columbia for a motorcycle trip, I guess. Multiple trips, and I'm going to be creating a web series on a bike. Eating food and riding around doing different stuff.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, well, thanks, I guess.
Have you got your locations planned out?
A lot of them, yes. Yeah, I do. So I'm looking at Vancouver as a pretty big home base for day trips. So, God, do I spoil everything?
Release what you want to release.
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to doing some different things. I've never been rock climbing before, aside from inside one of those, rock climbing centers, indoor centers. So I guess I'm going to be doing that. I have a friend that lives in Squamish.
Cool.
And I'm just like, hey, something I've never done before. Am I going to die? And he's like, I'll hook you up. And I'm like, great.
Literally.
Yeah. Great. So that's exciting. I've been to Whistler a couple of times. Going to go back. Maybe do some hiking through there, but then I was looking on the website and it was like, whoa, this is a double black hike.
Ooh.
Where I'm just like, what does that mean?
That sounds intense.
Steep?
If it's double black diamond and skiing, then
rocky.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll do that. Anyway, so yeah, gonna do those places, maybe get to Kelowna, weather permitting, and then I'm going to go onto the island and travel Vancouver Island. Which I've never really traveled extensively, and I thought that'd be really beautiful on a motorcycle.
Cool.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah. So yeah, go to Tofino, go surfing, Victoria. I've got a friend in Courtney, and as well probably go whale watching, and I don't know, man. Who knows what else is gonna happen?
You're just gonna have a million adventures.
I'm just gonna see shit. I'm just gonna do shit. I'm just gonna eat shit.
Nice.
That should be actually what it's called. It's gonna be eat. Wait,
eat
no.
Shit,
do shit.
Wait, there was another way.
See
shit.
No,
See
right.
shit.
Yeah, see shit.
Eat shit. Do shit.
See shit. See, eat, do shit. There we go.
Do you have a lot? It seems like you have a lot of BC knowledge. Have you been to BC before?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you said
actually,
you've been to Whistler.
yes. My mother and I was really my mother. So do I say mother or mom? She's my mom. My mom and my uncle live out there in the Greater Vancouver area. I did not grow up there. I grew up in Saskatchewan, which is kind of complicated. But they both relocated out there separately for separate occasions. And then so I do a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but I try and get out there once a year because, I mean, that's a fair distance to be away from
your mom.
Mommy.
From your mother.
Yeah, my mother. So yeah, I go once or twice a year.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's great. It's beautiful, and I like visiting, and it's beautiful, but every time I'm in Vancouver, I'm like, I love Toronto.
Have you done any improv out there?
Not yet, but I
That's a
will.
weird
I
way
will
to-
be doing a show August 22nd with a group called The Fictionals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, looking forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah. If you know any other hookups,
Yeah,
or
I
in
think
Victoria,
Yeah.
or wherever, maybe on the beach in Tofino. Let's do that.
Listen up, listeners in BC.
Do we have those?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if our stats go specifically into like where in Canada people are
Yeah,
listening.
just
I
Canada.
imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, I imagine
I
you
guess
can look that up.
We might have to pay more for it.
I think it's probably just in your
all-
settings.
all right, I'll
All
take
our
it.
listeners are Welland, and it's
That's-
mom and dad.
it's-
Just
No,
like-
they don't listen at all.
All
Our
right,
mother
that's
doesn't listen.
Aw.
It's okay.
I just saw my cackle show up, and it's definitely peaking. Sorry, everybody, about my cackle.
No,
It's a good cackle ring.
I love cackles.
Wait, so how long does it take you to get out there then?
I'm flying.
Oh, right.
So I'm flying out there. The bike's out there.
Oh,
I'm
bike's
just
already there, cool.
taking all of my gear, so my helmet, my jacket, my boots, and then my clothes for the month that I'll need.
What
yeah.
kind
Because I
of,
thought
like-
you were doing the bike trip there, and that was like your series.
No, I don't currently own a motorcycle. I sold my bike earlier this year because it was too problematic, and I was too poor. And I said, "Go, shoot, take it. You pay, you fix."
Someone else's problem now.
Exactly. Yeah. So
So-
it's just one of those things.
What bike will you be using for your web series?
Well, I'm going to be using two. I've got a small little sport bike, and I'll be using a cruiser as well.
Okay.
So yeah, but I'll be out there for enough that I can get. I'm hoping the first season done. So my goal is to be able to travel to other places and do the same thing. So
you're like
use
Canada's Anthony Bourdain, is what you're saying.
hardly. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more travelers that are Canadian that have
You're
a
here,
way better
folks,
reputation.
listening in.
BC
Canada's
unknown.
This is it. Yeah, this is it. Watch out. So yeah, man.
And
yeah.
is it? Do you have like a production team, or is it like
Oh,
a one woman?
hell
It's
no.
a 1 woman
Are
operation.
you kidding me? I'm doing everything on my own.
That's awesome.
But you know what? I'm just going like super rogue. I'm just using a GoPro,
Cool.
and
Nice.
I bought a new phone that's got a really great camera on
Nice.
it. And I'm just like, fuck it.
Well, that's what you gotta do. Why else do these phones have all these great cameras? You might as
Yeah.
well do something that's super cool with them.
Yeah.
It's-
So
yeah.
it'll be interesting.
I think it's just for Instagram, basically.
Oh yeah, it's
That's-
Snapchat.
Yeah, that too.
You,
Well,
you
to
make
have-
sure you snap while you're out there.
Yeah, exactly. And now Facebook Live. So
That's-
you can,
oh, yeah.
you can live stream what you're doing.
That's a good point.
So yeah. Do you want to know how I
Yeah.
decided to do this?
I sure do.
Okay,
That's
because it's
yeah.
kind of deeper.
No, let's get into it. I'm
Yeah.
putting my feet up here. We're getting into it.
She's got her feet on the hard drive.
That's
folks.
right. It's not mine. I don't know, but it
It's the
feels
Business
pretty
Center's hard
That's right.
drive. It's pretty stable. There's like those big old hard drives. I shouldn't say old. I guess I'm just
It's probably
It's
old.
probably old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
still
zero.
a CD-ROM in there.
Yeah.
I don't even think they
The
make
old
those
floppy
anymore.
drive?
Yeah, that's right.
So basically, I came to decide that I wanted to do this a number of months ago because this year, in particular, after doing the 365, I kind of hit like a bit of a slump, and I was like, "What the fuck? I'm grinding so hard, and I'm doing all these things, and like nothing's happening with it." And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna really fucking chill out this year. I'm just gonna really chill and get back to what it is that I love, and really trying to rediscover the joy again. Like I don't know about you, Brie, if you've been doing comedy long enough that sometimes you just hit a wall and you're like, am I really having fun doing this? Like, am I genuinely joyful, or am I just doing this because I'm looking at my career goal? You know what I mean?
I think there are definitely different like parts where I've come to realize that. Like certainly that happened when I was like doing stand up and I started doing a lot more improv than stand up. I was like, oh, I'm having a lot more fun doing improv than stand up. Like stand up is really depressing me and making me anxious and miserable.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah, so don't do that then.
Yeah, and I have
which
this
makes
other
sense.
tool. Yeah.
Which makes sense, but then the one side of your brain kicks in and is like, you can't abandon this. You've spent so much time and energy and years doing this. Like,
Right.
you can't let that go. You can't cut that off.
No, but you can certainly take what you've learned from that and use it into another experience or
Yeah.
put it into another avenue. And it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not quitting comedy. I'm just kind of like refocusing on myself.
Cool.
You know, so I was like, what do I like? I like riding bikes, and I like eating food, and I like traveling, and those are things I'd love to do more of. And so
from the outsider's perspective, so somebody else who's still inside the community, I saw this project that you're doing, and I'm like, oh, it's another super cool thing Moniquea's doing.
Aww.
You know, like it's so yeah, it's tough to know that it came out of a place that's like, what the fuck, because you're one of the hardest working improvisers out there, like making your own stuff, and
but like a character a day, that's
insane. I mean, I don't want to
drawing a lot out of the well, so I can totally understand you being like, fuck this by the end of it.
I mean, you know what, I still find myself creating characters, but it's really hard to get back in front of the camera to do it, because it was just like, oh man, okay, I have to set up the backdrop, I have to like go and find my location. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, no, I truly will go back to doing that. I just need a break.
Gotta go back to the well.
Go back to
or let the well fill up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit full. But I think it's not even just the creativity well. It's the energy well. Like, you know, because I really truly believe that creativity it's everywhere. Or I shouldn't say, sorry, inspiration is everywhere. And that was something that I really found last year, was like, there's always something. Even when we think you're absolutely tapped, there's always something to pull from. And once you're in that zone and you're doing it, you may think it may not be a great thing, but it's a thing. But it's a thing, creative. Absolutely. And the thing is, last year I'd probably say 75% of the videos that I made were garbage. Like, no, they were totally disposable. But it was just like, well, but fuck, I wouldn't find those other 25% that I did love, or that did somehow hit, or that I could use in, you know, sketch festivals. Because I didn't do that work. For sure. You know? Well,
it's like they say that about writing in general, right? Like you know, like, I don't know what the statistic is, but like for every 1,000 pages you write, like 20 of them are going to be good or whatever, you know, like, or certainly in stand-up, not every joke you write is going to be a winner.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's part of the process.
Even in improv.
Yeah.
You're just going to have a ton of garbage shows. You're just like, whoa, good thing that was a small crowd.
Well, they mostly are.
But then you have that one show where, you get into the festivals and you're just like, that was amazing. Like, that was really magical.
Everything clicks. Everybody's listening. Everybody's on board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, that was a super long answer, but that's why I'm doing it.
That's so cool.
And I'm really going into it with kind of just like, I want to have it low pressure, just capture some stuff. And it's not, like I said, it's not going to be super great quality, but it's just something. And who knows, man, if I can, I'd love to be able in the future to get sponsors to help cover some of the expenses. The very least, put it on YouTube and maybe have that happen to create other seasons and go to other cities and use those as launching points to continue to do and explore.
It'd be super cool.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I'm looking forward to watching it. It hasn't even started yet.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Oh, cool. It's another cool Moniquea project.
Man. Thank you very much.
Man, and it sounds like that's exactly what we should be doing as comedians, I think, or as performers or as artists, is like getting out there, discovering things, and making, I hate the word content because it's so overused, but like making things for not only other people to enjoy, but that you will enjoy making as well. Like, that's creativity.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't need the huge setup you once did to make something.
No, you don't. Yeah. No, I can't stress that enough.
And it doesn't matter that it's not, you know, perfect quality. At least it's going to feel like more real.
Yeah.
Especially with like the GoPro, you're going to be right in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
People will be on
camera too.
They'll be on this adventure with you.
Yeah. And the quality of the stuff looks good too now.
True, and you're an editor too, right? So I'm certain when you put it together, it will look good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already had sleepless nights thinking about this in terms of like my episodes and what they're going to look like. And I have to tell myself to just like fucking relax.
It'll happen.
Yeah, just to relax and like everything will be fine.
Yeah, just go and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you spend the whole time stressed out about how am I going to do it, then you're going to miss the part of it that you wanted to set up in the first place, which is let's just go. Let's just do this for me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's why.
That's so cool.
Oh, thanks.
Now I want to go on a bike ride.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's another thing. That's another reason why I want to do it is I really do want to make this appear accessible to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I know the biking, I don't say industry, but like the biker world can be super intimidating. We have like, okay, the hardcore bikers, and we have the sport bikers that, the gangs.
Did you ever see the Ewan McGregor series where it was like him and his friend Charlie going
but
around the world?
I have to check that out. I know.
Love it. Yeah.
No, I just want to make it accessible, and especially for women. I mean, more women are getting into riding.
Oh, cool.
And you don't have to have any experience. I mean, there are courses that you can take.
Did I hear you were teaching a course also?
I'm not teaching, but I'm going to be taking the motorcycle instructor course.
They're
instructor. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
so I can be an instructor.
That makes sense.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome to like teach other people. And when you're on a motorcycle, though, you have to be so present. The thing is, you're susceptible to dying.
Yeah.
I mean, really, there's nothing around you. So it's just such a great opportunity to be like, okay, cool. Like I can feel everything. Like you're really using your senses. Like I remember a couple of years ago, I was in BC and I used my mom's bike, and I was driving through like blueberry fields. Like it was blueberry season outside of the city in the greater Vancouver area, and I was like, holy shit, like I can, like it smells so amazing, and
so
you
cool.
wouldn't get that necessarily in a car. But you can smell things, you can feel things, you have temperature, but also you're very alert. You're just there in the moment.
Yeah, you have to be.
You have to be.
I find that terrifying.
Our dad used to have a bike back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Did you ever sit on it?
No, it was like before.
Oh, I see.
It was his life BC, as he says, before children.
Oh, yeah. A lot of parents get rid of their bikes once they have kids.
Yes, it's not as practical for the child.
Not as practical. You know what? Yeah, you can't really. Well, you could attach a car seat, I guess.
Yeah, a little baby car, like side seat.
Oh, that would be so rad. Oh, yeah, I would love to have a sidecar.
I can see like the little baby with the little goggles on.
But now you could never do that with social media because someone would be like, "That's
Shame.
Endangering your child."
Yeah, she had a seatbelt on. What's the problem?
The kid would be like 7, and they'd be like internet shaming them.
Yeah, the bike wouldn't be even like it wouldn't even be turned on. It would just be like a photo that you staged, and they'd be like, "No, shame, take the kid away."
Exactly. Yeah.
There's so much uproar about everything.
Yeah, there really is. There really is. I saw a thing. Yesterday there was something going on about a woman caught abusing her dog on the TTC.
Oh, I heard about that.
And I couldn't even click on the link.
No,
I was like,
I'm
okay.
not.
So I definitely don't want to see this, and I hate that this is happening, but like I can't click on this link.
No, it'll send you down a rabbit hole. That's just like the goal is just to keep you miserable.
That does seem to be the goal of social media.
Yeah,
because that's definitely the result of social media.
Yeah, well, maybe it's not the goal, but yeah, it is the result.
Yeah.
I've seen you on Twitter for more than 5 minutes. Like,
So what gets your goat?
Oh, she's gonna say
no, it's politics.
Word.
Politics, okay. Yeah, it gets a lot of people.
Oh, man.
And then, I've gotten a lot better, and I've learned to just not respond to a lot of people because it's just not worth it.
Did you get like because you were putting out your videos? Did you get like lots of feedback from your videos?
Is there any trolls or anything, or no?
Yeah, there was a few that were more popular. Like for some ever reason, that's a word.
Sure.
For some ever reason,
I feel like they use that in the South for sure.
This one video I made, which was really dumb, was called something about how to explain German humor. And it was really really stupid, a really terrible German impression. And it was inspired by...
this sounds good. I like where it's going.
But it was a book that I found on the street that was in German, and it was like German humor. And I was looking through the pages, and it had illustrations, and basically all I did was I was like, yeah, this is my thing, and look at this illustration here. It's so funny. And I've had a lot of comments just on that video. For some reason, it really hit. I don't know why.
Like
Good
positive
or
both?
Like some are like, oh, this is definitely German humor. Like it's so fucked up, or they have none. And then a lot are just like, this person's not funny. Like, boo, go back. You're terrible.
Like, go back where? To Germany?
It's like, it's a parody video, guys. Like, yeah, I know my humor's not great, but whatever. So I wouldn't say I experienced a lot, but it at first I did actually read them and was like, oh my god, I gotta respond with like playful sarcasm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, just stop, just don't. Like, just
don't feed the trolls.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you're sort of placed in this weird position where you're the person releasing the content, but you're also your own like social media department. So you see the feedback come back to you instantly, and you have to decide, was it worth it or not for me to respond? Is it better for my brand, quote unquote, to respond?
Oh, brand. Oh,
right?
boy. Yeah. Talking about another
yeah,
word,
I'm bringing
brand.
them all out today. Brand. What was the other one? Content. That's right.
Yeah. Image.
Yeah, that's right.
Synergy.
Are you making synergy? But yeah, like, because there's like a huge focus on engaging. Oh God, there it is again.
Oh yeah,
engaging with your audience. Yes. Yeah. But if your audience is just like taking a dump on your work, then should you try to win them over in your comments? Like, what's the
you
worth
never
there?
will.
No,
yeah,
exactly.
There's no point.
No
in
matter
doing
what
that.
you say, it will never satisfy them. Like they're never going to say, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, good
you know
point.
what? Jeez, I
I've
didn't even
thought
think
about
about
that.
that. I did not think about that. You're right. You go, girl. Keep making those videos.
It's like explaining your joke. It's not gonna work.
Right. Yeah. So if somebody just doesn't connect to it right away, then it's like, okay, fine. It's not for
you.
you.
Same thing with politics. You're never going to change the opinions of your opposing people.
It's true. As much as you try. Sorry, Nick. It's not a very visual medium at all, but you should see how face
happy
you
I am.
But social media isn't the place to try and change minds.
I guess it isn't.
It's really just about, this is all my,
the thing I'm finding
spewing.
super frustrating with it is like, I don't even know if I'm arguing with a human right now. It
yeah,
could
sure.
just be a bot.
Yeah.
Or, a human but being paid to have an opinion.
Oh, that's a good point.
In a
that's
certain country that's
America.
Between Europe and Asia.
Oh,
kind of big, very to the north. Rhymes with musha.
Oh, you think you're talking about Russian hackers on the internet?
Well, not hackers, but they have paid bot farms, basically.
Oh, man, imagine working on a bot farm.
What does it look like?
I think probably like a call center, but with computers, and it's just people paid to promote certain points of view on the internet and to troll people. And
how much do you think that would pay?
I mean, it's Russia, so it doesn't have to pay a lot.
So wait a second. So this is not people that are typing in things. These are just computers that are generating statements?
They're two different things. The thing called a bot is a computer program that has an automated response to certain...
like a word or...
Oh, okay.
But a person has to write that program initially.
For example, I follow a bot that every hour or so sends me a reminder to drink water.
Okay.
Really?
For example, it's like, hello, human friend, it's time for you to consume liquids that you need to stay alive. So they, you can tell it's not a real human. It's like a computer piecing phrases, like combinations of phrases together. But yeah.
How do they communicate with you? Through text or through...
Oh, this is on Twitter.
This is on Twitter.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so anybody that follows this will get the same reminders.
Yes, exactly.
I see. So it has to pop up in your feed at the right time. Because, I mean, I can't read everything on Twitter.
No, absolutely not.
It's just
do they tweet at you? No way.
No, it just shows up on my, So
it must be more. I should go drink water.
It must be more than once an hour because I see it quite a bit and I'm not on Twitter that often. Yeah, so it must be once every 20 minutes.
Do you do it?
Sometimes I try, not every time, but sometimes if I don't drink water, I at least feel guilty about not drinking water.
So there's a Catholic bot.
Right. There's a Catholic bot, yeah.
See, I guess that's the thing. I'm so unaware of these.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Don't go on Twitter.
No, well, I mean, I already am on Twitter, but
okay.
it's for a lot more meaningless stuff. I had chicken today.
You
That's
do
what
have
it
a
was
lot of
designed
fun
for.
food posts. I'm
I
like,
do.
how
See,
does
I
she
like
eat so
food.
much stuff?
I like food a lot. I
Yeah.
really do. And I'm not a foodie because I feel like foodies are into a class of their own.
Yeah, they're kind of pretentious about their
Oh.
food. I don't
Yeah.
see that pretension in your.
No, I'm
You're
just
like,
like,
"Wow, this is so good.
This is tasty and it's going into my mouth right now.
That's how it started, though.
Foodieism.
Yeah, like an honest, like, this food is awesome, I love it. That's the heart of foodiness.
Yeah, but now it's like, I'll only eat this fancy kind of combination
it's
of
like,
flavors. And,
this isn't good enough because it's not all foie gras and truffle, you know?
Oof, yeah, all right. I was with you
Yeah.
with foie gras and you lost me at truffle.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
no, that,
Reductions.
Foie gras.
foam.
reduction.
so good. Foie gras.
You know what I had this year when I went to Vimy? Foie gras. Why do
Oh,
I
you
have
got
such
the
a
R
hard time to
there.
say that? Foie gras in macaroon. It was like a
What?
macaron.
cookie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a savory one?
It was like the cookie itself was sweet, but it was mixed with the savory foie gras. So it was like a really interesting explosion of flavor in my mouth.
Were you happy with that?
I wasn't unhappy with it. I
Okay.
was like, I'm eating foie gras in France. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's not something that I would want for lunch on a regular basis, but it was like,
Yummy.
this is interesting.
Yeah, of course you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was offered to me, and I was like, this is interesting.
I'm going to
Let's
use
do
my
it.
improv training.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm putting it in my mouth.
Exactly. And I was like, where the hell else am I going to have foie gras in a macaron? Never. Anyway, now I
Probably
feel.
not.
I mean, probably
No,
Welland.
No, they don't have
Really?
that in
No?
Welland for the last
I
time.
thought for sure, maybe Port Colborne.
Yeah, pork over. I only have chicken wings.
Uh,
Oh my god, I read this I saw this disastrous news article when the parents were over. They had put it on the Buffalo News. And it was like, the cost of chicken wings is going up.
No!
And everybody was like, oh, this is a disaster.
It's the end times.
Especially in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, like how much are they going up?
Probably,
Like 5 more
yeah,
cents?
it's probably like an extra 5 cents
Per wing.
Per wing, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that adds up.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
But Dad was like, man, when I was growing up, they were 5 cents per wing to begin with.
It's 5 cents a pound.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you used to you specifically.
I did. Yeah.
I'm saying like, but I remember having like 25-cent wing days, wing specials.
Yeah.
Sometimes 20, maybe 15 even in some places.
But you couldn't share. I remember that. It was like if you can have like an all-you-can-eat wings day, but
I'd
it
be
was
like, why
only-
would I share?
Yeah. But you could only be like to one person. I don't remember what place
okay.
that was.
Sounds like a terrible place.
Yeah. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Oh my
'Cause it's
god, I
not
want
like-
wings so bad.
It's not like an
No
all-you-can-eat
wing pod.
sushi place where you're ordering in abundance and then taking it home.
Yes.
You're paying for every wing. You've already paid for those wings.
Yeah.
So who cares whose mouth it goes into?
That's
Exactly.
a good point.
I
You
guess
know?
it's like
We're
if it's-
onto you, chicken wing
I
industry.
don't
Yeah,
even remember
exactly.
which one it was. It might have even been in Ottawa,
Oh,
and they're not exactly like known for their chicken wings in Ottawa.
What
now
is
they're all you
Ottawa
can
known
eat
for?
shawarma. That would
Oh,
be
yeah, I
something
guess.
Beaver
completely-
tails and shawarma, yeah.
Is that a real thing? All-you-can-eat shawarma?
No,
No.
that is not
Oh.
a thing. I went to an Indian buffet on Friday.
Yum.
No,
In
disaster.
Ottawa?
No, not in Ottawa.
Okay.
In Mississauga. It
Oh.
sucked.
Oh, okay.
Why?
The curries were just okay.
So you
okay.
sound like a
Expe-
foodie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you need flavor in your curry.
So it was just kind of too bland. It was like a Gennaro.
Yeah. It was Gennaro, and the service was really crap.
Oh, that's not good.
Like, we sat there for 10 minutes, and our waitress came up and was like, oh, you're not going to the buffet? I'm like, this is a buffet? What are you talking We didn't know it was a
yes.
specific place. But
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Have you ever gone to any of the places in Little India?
Where's Little India
What?
in Toronto?
What?
I don't even know.
No, where?
Oh my God!
I've been to
both
a
of you.
few
This
downtown,
is your
but-
bucket list
Okay.
item, hopefully for 2017.
Yeah.
Get ready to cross it off. Little
Uh-huh.
India is a stretch on Gerrard East.
Okay.
Gerrard East. So it starts Greenwood to Coxwell.
Okay.
Yeah. They actually just had their festival, I think, last weekend or the
Oh.
week before. But anyway, listen, you go down there. Summertime, they're like roasting corn out on the street. They got like little papadoms and stuff.
Oh.
But they've got buffets galore. You go in and
They're good Indian
I
buffet?
think they're good. Yeah. If you don't want a buffet, but it's a really popular place is Lahore Tikka House. They've got the little cart outside. It's like literally one of those tuk-tuk. Yeah, it's a tuk-tuk that's outside of the establishment.
This
you can go
sounds
and order
amazing.
a la carte.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, and they've got like dessert places and coffee, like
What are
cafes
those?
and coffee shops.
Those little like balls dipped in honey. that
Yeah,
they do.
we had some of those.
Those are
yesterday.
insane.
My kids didn't like them; they found them too much, so they kept punting them over to me. I'm like, fine.
Like too much isn't too sweet.
Yeah,
Because they're like,
because it's
dipped in
like
honey,
dough
right?
just soaking in honey.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're kind of like.
No, because like I lived in Edinburgh for a while, and the UK have got their Indian places all over, and it's awesome.
I guess it's,
Yeah.
stuff
there
like
must
that.
have been like huge Indian immigration, right?
Yep.
That's why there's such good places because
Yeah.
it's very authentic.
And I think the UK took in a lot of immigrants after the war
That makes
because
sense.
kind of a lot of their men died.
That makes sense.
But yeah, we moved to Mississauga, and thinking Sauga's got a huge Indian and Pakistani community. There's going to be great restaurants, and we've really struggled to find
Maybe you have to
Oh,
go
that's
to
good
bad.
Indian ones. Yeah.
Anyway, try to go to Little India if you can. I
Yep.
think it's worth it. It's very affordable as well. Lots of selection.
This all sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they even have a restaurant that's like strictly vegetarian buffet as well if you want. You know what? I love Indian food, but I don't eat it a lot because I find I get like a really spicy belly afterwards.
Yeah.
And then it just like never settles.
Yeah.
And I always go to sleep and
A
I'm
little
just
bit
like,
of trouble sleeping. You have weird
Yes.
dreams. And,
I
yeah.
just have a hard time
Spicy
sleeping
dreams.
because it's like,
The spicy
oh,
dreams.
my stomach's like so full and it's
Yeah.
so rich.
Yeah.
But
I can't
it's
stop
delicious.
myself from eating it because it's like I know I'm gonna get full, so I have to hurry up and get it in my mouth before my stomach tells me how full I am.
Oh, wow.
And it's like that's not a good that's not a good recipe for success.
I had a great experience speaking of the UK a couple minutes ago. I was in London, the area called Brick Lane.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of, like, I guess, curry houses, Indian food there. And I was with my husband, and we're like, yeah, we should definitely, like, experience this here, we're in the area. And so I'm like going back to the houses, like the different curry houses. I'm like, what's your price? And they're like, here, we'll give you this special 2 drinks, this. I was like, that's a bad deal. And the other one, I'm like, what can you give me? Like, no, that guy back there, he's like 2 drinks, this. You got to give me for that price. And then, but it was so fucking expensive in the UK. Like everything was so expensive. So everything was in pounds. And I was like,
Yeah, don't do the math.
no, I kept doing the math.
No.
But I got like confrontational with this one guy. He was just doing his job. But I was like, that's not a good deal. Like, I can pay $14 in Canada and get all you can
We'll go
eat.
back to Canada.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, well, then this is in Canada. I was like, fine, all right, we'll go with your establishment.
This guy tells it like
make
it
a
is.
good
I'm going to
point,
his
sir.
curry.
Yeah, I am the worst. I'm such a cheapskate.
We had a place in Edinburgh. It was called the Raj, and you get like 4 Cobra beers with your Indian takeaway as well. It's great.
It would come with, that's something they don't do here.
No. Here's your food, and we've given you beer.
Yeah, no. Drinks are never included with anything here in Canada.
No, it's a completely different mentality about alcohol. Probably
Oh,
because it's
so
prohibition
puritanical.
and everything, yeah.
Yeah. Especially Ontario specifically, I would say.
Well, some of the provinces, like including Ontario, like the ones where the government regulates all the liquor so that it's not like, so you can't buy it from a corner store or whatever.
That being said,
Which
I'm
is
going to Quebec like at the
A
end of
lot
the
of
month.
provinces,
Yeah,
I think.
like I don't think you can do that in Manitoba. The only
think
places
pretty
I
much
know.
all
I'm
the
going to go to
Western
Des
provinces.
Penave when I'm in Quebec.
Hmm?
I'm going to the Des Penave.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the depth.
Definitely not Saskatchewan. I think Alberta might be privatized, but you still can't buy them in convenience stores.
Okay.
And I don't believe in BC either. I think BC is provincially regulated.
You could definitely do it in Newfoundland.
Really?
Yeah, because we bought beer at the gas station.
Really?
Yeah. One for you.
Yes.
So you're into food, but you're not a foodie.
No, I'm definitely not a foodie. I think I'm too cheap to be a foodie.
That's cool. That's like a different perspective on it too, right? Because a lot of people, maybe they'd be interested in being like foodies, but it's got to be expensive.
I think it helps you avoid being pretentious.
Oh yeah, pretentious.
It keeps you away from pretension that way.
Yeah, because I'm never gonna be like, wow, this flavored foam was out of this world. Like,
Okay, yeah. All right.
Flavored foam can fuck off. Like, that's not gonna fill me up, you know.
But,
I think
I
we
mean,
found
you're
it.
fine with smoke-infused bubbles, right?
Absolutely.
Flavor-fused bubbles.
Yeah. So I've been watching a lot of like Fort Grace and like the fancier chef shows on Netflix right now because I'm I've been through all the Bourdain, and I'm going up market in my shows now.
You mentioned your husband.
Yeah.
Is he coming on your travels with you?
No, I'm going solo.
That's pretty cool. How does he feel about it? Is he like, do it, enjoy it?
He's used to my bullshit. I'm just like, I'm going. You can't stop me.
Well, that's good.
And he's like, I'm not going to. And I would never try.
Like sitting in a parlor reading the papers. Go ahead now.
Yes, darling.
Exactly.
See you when you get back.
In a robe. No, yeah, I don't know. I've always been a free spirit. I mean, when we were dating, I was like, I'm going to New York. I'm moving away. And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this long distance. Like, I just didn't, I don't know.
Did you move away to New York?
Yeah, I did.
What did you do in New York?
I started comedy there.
Okay. That's cool. So that's how you found comedy.
Well, I mean, I found it, years ago
right.
as a kid, decades ago. But that's where I started it.
Cool.
I just took the plunge.
Oh yeah, you did UCB.
I did, yeah.
I learned that on her Webular site.
Oh yeah.
How did you like the UCB program?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved all of New York, the whole scene, everything. I loved the grind. I loved the hashtag hustle.
Yes.
If you will, I think they had the hashtag hustle before the hashtag
before
hustle
Twitter.
existed.
Yeah. Before hashtags.
But that was very eye-opening in terms of like, oh wow, people like they do practice groups not to perform but just to become really good at their craft, which I think is still pretty foreign here. I think a lot of people in the community here are like, well, no, I just gotta like hit the stage, and like that's great, hit the stage, get those hours in, but also, I just thought it was really cool to just be like, okay, I'm meeting with these people on the regular, weekly, sometimes more than once a week, multiple groups, and we're gonna have a coach, and we're just gonna like do a bunch of shit.
It's true. In this city, it's like there's a huge notion that is like, well, I don't need a rehearsal. I took my A to E. I did the conservatory. Why do I still need to rehearse? Even from some of the people like higher up in the journey. I hate saying journey. But
you're just douching it up
no,
tonight.
I'm like, I took this workshop and I'm all like about it right now.
Yeah, and like you got that tattoo. So
journey. Hashtag journey.
To remind you of your journey.
That sounds great.
And then it's all that you're
over my
always
nipple.
On your
But yeah, I think that's like a bad attitude to have. Like if you're never gonna be perfect at this, so why wouldn't you try? At least try. Like going out there and performing, that's supposed to be when you're like at your best.
Yeah.
That's when you're supposed to be showcasing yourself. That's not when you're supposed to be just fucking around and rehearsing, like rehearse.
Especially if people are paying to be there.
Exactly. Which, I mean, that's another program.
Right.
Another problem. How many people pay to go see all the improv shows in Toronto?
Right. I think there too was just a matter of there wasn't the space. There wasn't the performance spaces available like there are now. Now every theater down there, except for the Magnet, I believe, has multiple theaters.
Right.
But that wasn't a thing. They were all just had the one. So you had to really earn your stage time.
Right.
And but also it was just really great to just be in a space and just continue to fail. Just fail and fail and fail and fail and not have to worry about, okay, I have to fail so many times before I can get on stage. Because a lot of the people you were rehearsing with or you were in this practice group with, not everyone's goals were to perform. They just wanted to get better at the game, or they wanted to get better at characters or something, whatever that was, to not have that pressure. But ultimately, putting in the work, because I mean with UCB, like that was the first thing they said right out of the gate of maybe not level A, or sorry, not A, it wasn't A, it was one.
Yeah.
Or 2 was like, if you want to get good at this, you have to get together like a practice group. You guys meet outside of class and you got to do this.
Whereas like level A here, or any introductory level, it's hard to get people out of the theater where they're doing it to just watch improv.
Yeah.
Let alone do it.
Yeah. And that was a prerequisite. You had to watch at least 2 shows. At least 2 shows out of an 8-week span. Like that's so minimal.
Small. Yeah.
That's
especially if you're like
math. That's like 20% of, I don't know. Forget it. We're not doing percentages today. No.
Here.
It's Sunday, a long weekend. God damn it.
Like
So
and you're in New York. You have the possibility to see some of the best improv in the
absolutely
literally the big leagues.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think they really, I mean, it was taken very seriously. I think it was designed that way to weed people out. It was more of a, I don't want to say like a pyramid scheme in that, like, hello, buy this product,
right.
and but it was a pyramid scheme of, you had to pass the fourth level to get into New Team Herald and stuff. Whereas here it's just like, oh great, you have $300, cool, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Continue on, my friend.
Yeah.
And we will never address that issue that everybody hates about you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That one problem that you seem to be repeating over and over again.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think it's gotten a lot better, and there's a lot more long form available now in the city.
Right.
But
how long were you in New York?
I was there for 2 years.
Oh, that's so cool. And did you get like a working visa, or was it a?
Oh hell no!
Oh
hell no, guys! You ready for some juice?
Yeah,
here comes the juice. So down there, totally illegally.
Oh.
Which at the time was just basically a visitor visa. So I had a visitor visa. Was not supposed to work. Was not supposed to perform. Just supposed to take my classes and go into extreme debt.
Take photos of how much you're enjoying.
Exactly,
yourself.
Loving the life. However, I did get a job, and I did get an internship at UCB.
Oh, cool!
Which was great, amazing. And I also performed. So I broke all of my visa terms.
We can edit all of this out.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm a free woman now. And everything was going great, going back and forth. Woo, yeah, man. Got married. My husband got a work visa. Everything was great. Then it was like, cool, spouse. So I'm like, great. I got my permit to be down here again. Still can't work, but we'll figure that out down the road. The last time I came down, went down to the States. I did not have my marriage license on me, and that's when I got busted. I was red flagged and completely, how do you say? I was going to say violated, but I wasn't violated. No, I wasn't.
Oh, God, this
no,
did
I wasn't.
Get juicy.
But they went through all my shit. They went through, like, my cell phone messages.
That's a violation.
Well, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they can.
Which I didn't know, and I was like, oh, my God, I want a lawyer. And they're like, no, you don't get a lawyer.
You're going to Guantanamo.
So basically, Google searches, all that junk.
Google searches.
So I got banned for 5 years.
Oh, sick bird.
Yeah, sick bird. But
I mean, now that's probably a good thing because you don't want to go down there.
I don't have a desire with the administration. Absolutely not.
I'm staying away from Buffalo, which sucks because I want wings and.
Well, they're more expensive now anyway.
You can get wings here, though. You can't get good buffalo wings in Canada.
The difference is
maybe
pretty
more
striking.
I mean, you reminded me about that.
Yeah, there's actually I found this place in Niagara Falls that had really, really good.
Like as good as the city?
Like not as big as the city, but like.
Tasty.
Buffalo,
Buffalo.
We grew up down there, so I feel like we're chicken wing snobs.
Yeah. Definitely. And like I wanted to go Chicago again, but I'm like I don't want to give them my money right now.
Right.
Yeah,
I want to encourage that nonsense.
Absolutely. Yeah. I completely agree with you. There are so many other places that you can travel to in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like Montreal.
Yeah. Even within the country, why not?
Yeah, within the country, other countries. There's lots of countries.
There are a whole bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
It turns out.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know. So where did you meet your husband? I'm fixated on husband chat right now.
Oh, okay, sure. We met in university.
Oh, nice. What did you study?
I studied psychology.
Ah.
Yeah, I have an undergrad in psychology, humanities.
Which institution?
The University of Calgary.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because you were
So
in
you're
Saskatchewan.
a dinosaur.
I am a dinosaur. Exactly. Yes.
They're the dinos.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was their.
Yeah.
I was like, does this school not exist anymore? Anyway.
So yeah, there was a collaborative program offered out of Red Deer College, and we were both there. He was doing his second degree because he was a smarty pants, and I was doing my first, taking a real long time.
So did you want to be a therapist originally, or
nope? Not a smart person, but psychology was the class that I happened to have the best grades in, so I just followed that route.
Well, I feel like it's funny how so many of us end up not knowing what it is that we want to do and feeling like university is the obligatory next step, and then you're kind of there and you're like, well, they have 10 grand of my money, I might as well give them another 10, for year 2, even though you're kind of like, what?
Well, I mean, you're expecting 18-year-olds to know what they want to do for the rest of their life.
Right, exactly.
Right after they figured out how to drive a car and they're first allowed to have beer.
Right, exactly.
A big ask.
Yeah.
No kidding.
It'll be interesting to see where we go in the next 20, 50 years
In
with
terms-
that mindset,
yeah.
Because
I think it's been changing a lot. 'Cause you
Yeah.
have entrepreneurs being like hugely lauded as like examples of things to do, and
Right.
creative industries are just the pyramid is kind of flattened out. There's so much content all over the place now, free and cheap, and there's e-publishing for writing, which is like my kind
Yeah,
of
but the
lane.
education system is still sort of set up the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that needs a massive overhaul for.
absolutely the education system period
Yeah.
does. I mean, God, I mean, it
It's
wasn't that I
lagging
was a dumb
behind.
kid, but I mean, I'm very visual. I'm very hands-on and very visual.
Yeah, you're obviously not a dumb person. Like you make such wonderful things. You're such a delight to watch that it's like nobody would ever peg you as dumb. You know what I mean? But if you
Right.
do poorly in school, though, that's like it's like
Oh, you're dumb.
something's
Yeah.
missing. Yeah, something's missing if there's this whole other like creative element that's completely being ignored in the education system.
Sure.
Just because you're not good at figuring out percentages on the spot. Because I'm not good at figuring
Yeah,
out
pie
percentages.
charts, trigonometry, yeah.
All the education system like that we went through is kind of based on the
Like the business world.
well, okay, yeah, there's the business, but towards the industrialization as well.
Right.
They wanted to make sure that people can understand basic tasks
Right.
and show up on time and do what was asked of them. So
Right.
that's kind of what that model is built
Yeah,
around.
exactly. The
And then
teacher
it's
is like the
gone-
boss. It's like I teach you this,
Yeah.
you do it. If you do
The
not
bell
do it
goes
right,
off,
then yeah.
everyone goes to their desks
Yeah.
and sits and listens.
Wow.
And
But that's in no way does that necessarily mean that kids are learning what they should be learning or
No.
getting the best
It's-
education.
everything was
possible.
about standardization.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
You want to produce
It
the
still
most
is, yeah.
amount of whatever educated level children
Right.
behaving a certain way.
Right.
But I
We
mean, the way
don't need
the,
no
Education. We kind of don't. It's all DIY.
That's right. I can find it all on YouTube.
Yeah, we
well,
can
that's the
Google
other thing now.
everything.
Everything's on the
Wikipedia.
internet.
I took poli-sci. So my poli-sci is your psychology.
Okay, yeah.
And I took this wonderful class about, or it was like feminist political thought, and where we learned about how also the education system is very like male focused on
Yeah.
how men learn most effectively.
I mean, like the pencil.
It's
on.
just a huge dick.
But a real skinny one, though,
yeah,
let's be
real
honest.
skinny.
Yeah,
real
it is.
skinny,
Skinny
real
one.
skinny print.
Originally,
It's
they
not
were
really-
big, thick
I mean-
pencils.
Big juicy pencil.
Oh, why do
Remember
they have
the
to be
15
juicy?
Oh, it's got a big vein on it.
Oh
too.
no,
Oh my
that's
God.
the wow man, only
where
the
the-
French word
the
is
lead
coming
goes
out.
through?
The lead,
And
yeah.
And it was super homoerotic because they were all using each other's pencils.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
just like fighting
Pencil.
with each
Yeah.
other's pencils.
Dip it in my inkwell.
Ew. But learned like there are a lot of different communities in certain places where the learning happened where like basically the community comes together and they just share things, share knowledge of either cooking or share knowledge of hunting or whatever, so that the whole community is sort of raised up. And it's not just one person lecturing the whole group. It could be the youngest person in the group, like sharing something that they learned that could inspire somebody else in the group, or in the community, rather.
Like, I would dread having a child for the purpose of one day they're going to ask me, why do I have to go to school?
Right,
I don't know what my answer would be.
right.
I don't
Because
have an
the
answer
government
because
tells
you
you
have
to.
to, because it's illegal for you to not attend school.
Right. I guess you could.
Well, for my kids,
home raise
it's
them.
different. They enjoy school.
That's good.
And I think they're trying to move away from like how we were taught, at least for the younger kids. They're young. So for Coop, he's coming up, and like kindergarten is learn while you play or learn through play.
That makes sense.
And
Yeah.
it's all stuff like that.
That's like
more Scandinavian.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
style.
didn't the Danes have something like that? Yeah.
So Canada's really good with our education system now. They're looking outside of the country for like what's working. And
Right.
They're looking at WHO is not the right thing, but they're looking at like UN scores for schools and who's doing best and stuff.
It's
like
also
that.
helpful to look down south and see how horribly it is.
No,
set
never
up
look
down
at the
there.
states for what they're doing, because it's like you don't need an example of what not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be looking at what has been proving to work for other countries and stuff like that. And we're going through this huge revolution of information as well. Like, it's unprecedented in history.
Yep, information, content, quality. Speaking of which, why don't you talk to us now a bit more about your 365 videos?
Jeez.
What inspired you to do that?
What inspired me? Well, I've always been drawn to character work.
Yes. I felt very bad because I had a conflict come up when I had signed up for your character workshop. I was so looking forward to it.
It's okay. You know what? Here's a spoiler. I'll probably have another one in the fall.
Sweet.
So there's another opportunity.
Wonderful.
But yeah, it's something that's just kind of always come natural to me with taking the improv classes and performing. In 2014, I started doing solo shows out of Comedy Bar. I had a monthly spot, which used to be the C-Bomb, which was a variety show that I ran for 2 years out of there. And then I was like, what? Like, I don't want to just host and produce anymore. Like, I was really tired of it, and having to deal with people backing out last minute and being like, oh, cool, well, thank you so much. Thanks for letting me know this is really important to you.
Yeah.
Not 1990s not.
Oh yeah, that's the bait.
So I was like, what do I want to be known for? Do I want to be known for being a host, or like, do I want to push myself and do my own things? So then I morphed it into doing it with Moniquea. And so then it was a monthly show, still at a Comedy Bar, the same one. And I spent the hour doing a third stand-up, a third character, and a third improv, all on my own. So constantly like forcing me, like, okay, this is my date. What is my material? I need an hour's worth of material to do. And by doing so, it was like, cool, the character work was really, I don't want to say easy, but it was like easier. Stand-up was atrocious. Stand-up is an entirely different beast that I don't know if I'm really ever going to be interested in trying to tackle. It was more so just like, hey, storytelling of my life, and here's an awkward thing that I did.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. But then I just never honed the jokes because I always had new material for the next month.
Right.
And then the solo improv was actually, I really loved the solo improv. Like, that was the first time I did solo improv. I was like, this is cool. Like, I'm so free. I can do whatever I want. But I generated enough characters based out of that year that I then got into Fringe the following year, so 2015. So I took some mom characters that I did and turned it into a mom musical, Mumsicle. And so while I was working on Mumsicle before Fringe, I was just thinking, like, I had amassed 12 characters into a 55-minute show.
Cool.
And I was like, shit, okay, that's 12 characters that are in here. And I don't know, I just got this weird brainwave, which happens, right, I don't know if this happens to you guys at all, but like usually right when I'm really focused on something, then all of a sudden your brain kicks in. And you know what, I think it comes back to that well of creativity. Yeah. Because you're swimming in so much inspiration that then all of a sudden this one kind of, I don't know, I'm doing this hand movement
thing. Looks like a tentacle.
Yeah, a tentacle kind of like sneaks in there and slaps you on the face and is like, what about this thing? And you're like, can I just focus on this one thing?
Hey, wait a minute.
And the brainwave was just like, why don't you try doing a character a day next year? And I had to really think about it for months.
Cool.
And be like, is this something I really want to try and do? Can I feasibly pull it off?
And how are you doing? Did you end up doing like a couple different characters like in one day so that you can release them like on different day, or was it really like, well, okay, today I do this video and I post it today?
Yeah, I'd say for the most part, I was 24 hours ahead of when I was supposed to post.
Cool.
Was supposed to post. Mm-hmm. So I was usually doing the video the day before. There were some weeks where I was pretty diligent and I would use a Saturday and I would bang out a few.
Oh, nice.
Which was always like, whoo, a relief. Like, I could have a couple of days to breathe. Yeah. But then usually it was, I wake up in the morning, okay, what do I have to shoot today for tomorrow? You know, go through something that I have cataloged or I'm newly inspired by something. and then go from there.
Because it wasn't just shooting it, you were editing it as
did
well.
everything. Yeah, I did everything.
Like, do you have like a green screen at home and that kind of stuff?
I do, yeah. I've got a couple of screens, a couple of.
So you invested in the project as well?
Absolutely.
Because you're saying I'm a cheapskate, but it sounds like not really, because you're investing in your own cool project.
I know, yeah, I guess so. I guess.
That's why, so hard on yourself.
That's why I can't afford going to for the $50 meal, the foodie, paying for that foam.
Hey man, you've got priorities, and they sound like they're in line.
Yeah. But there was, I went on a couple of trips last year, so then I would stockpile. So right before I went on the trip, I would just bang out all of my episodes and then just release. Or they were all
This is
on
a lady
YouTube.
packing for a trip.
Exactly, yeah. Just on YouTube, and then I would just put them as public every day.
I see. Oh, they were already
they were
uploaded.
So
you're just now I published today.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't want to do that. I did not want to be on vacation and then have to worry about doing that. I wanted to actually have
super
time
lame. Worrying about getting the internet connection.
Well, because it's work too. It's your job. And if you're taking a vacation, you want to take a vacation from that.
Yeah.
So if you're at an office, which you were saying, if you were nannying, because you do nannying, you were telling us before we actually started rolling. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't want to have to bring the kids out on your vacation. So why would you want to bring your gear?
Oh hell no! My employers is lovely children,
but they don't get
to come on vacation with me. Absolutely not.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's how that worked, I guess.
And were you pleased with it? In the end, were you like, this is awesome, or were you just
thank God the year's over?
Yeah, or was it a thank God, or was it a mixed emotions?
You know what? Hindsight, I wish I had celebrated more. Oh. I really do.
It seems to be how it is for artists. It's as soon as you do this tremendous thing, it's great, that's done. What's the next thing? Instead of being holy shit, I just did this thing and taking that in. And
I mean, that's very human. That's
for sure.
Not just artists.
Not just performers.
I mean, even just some milestones along the way. You get through a month, and I'm like, wow, I just did a month.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of cool, I did a month. And then you're like, well, 11 more to go.
Yeah.
And then you just keep going in. And I remember once I hit 100, 300 was amazing. Once I hit 300, I was like, only 65 to go,
Oh,
but
insane.
still to be able, I just didn't have the time. And then, of course, when you finish the project, then you're just, I don't know. I think
did you hate it at that point? Because sometimes that's what happens.
I didn't hate it, but I was really, I set up too many expectations for myself, if we want to get real.
I do.
I set up too many expectations that I didn't hit in terms of some goals, and I was too busy well, why aren't I a YouTube sensation? And it's because that's why, first of all, why do you want to be that?
Because there's also no rhyme or reason for
exactly.
Because you're here making cool content, but people different unique videos every day. But the people who are YouTube sensations are let me talk to you about my makeup again. And you're what? Come on.
Listen, a lot of people like that.
You're right. I'm sorry, I shouldn't.
And that's a talent which I wear no makeup today. I don't have.
I've got plenty on.
Oh yeah, I really like your contouring.
So I was just too busy focusing on oh shit, I succeeded in finishing it, accomplishing a goal, but I also failed because I felt like a lot of people dropped off the radar in terms of their interest in me. And it's oh, okay, now I don't know if I felt like maybe I scared people away because it was just ew, too much content coming out all of the time.
Wait, is that something that you feel, or do you have a way of backing that up? Or is it just a feeling that you have?
Kind of both. It's been interesting. Listen, I don't like to follow a lot of things that happen on social media, but if we're gonna get into social media experiments, I definitely had a lot more comedians before I started the project liking my posts, and then when I started the projects, it was literally some people that were really cool, interacting with me online, just wouldn't like a single thing.
I wonder though if it's not so much that they stopped liking it, or that they, like, because they knew you were doing this project.
Yeah.
It could be that some people see the amount of stuff that you're putting out and they start to feel bad. They start to feel like they're not accomplishing what it is that they're trying to accomplish.
For sure.
And so that's why they're kind of like either jealous or just sort of like, ooh, I'm not going to support,
Or
I
they've
feel
moved on to something completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. There's
Right,
a million reasons.
Yeah.
And I took it way too personally.
I see.
At
Okay.
the end of the day, I took everything super personally. I took it as like, not having the talent to get to where I want to be, or
it's a big ask. And like, what if you just happen to do like 3 or 4 characters on the trot that didn't connect with a certain person, and then they're like, oh, you know what, I can't be bothered. But then like they could have liked all your next 20 characters after that.
right?
It's
But
a
also,
lot
yeah.
to go
Yeah.
through.
But it was really good too because it allowed me to just be like, well, fuck it. I mean,
It's more of a project for you to
yeah,
do.
totally for me. And I don't regret it for a second. Like I was super proud that I did it. I mean, I've kind of left it behind because now I'm moving on to something
To your
else.
new project, yeah.
But
But
yeah,
it's always going to be there.
for sure.
Like
and
in a couple of years, if you ever want to draw back on a character, you might just stumble upon one randomly. Like, oh my god, that person, they would work great in this sketch, or
Yeah.
I want
Also,
to know
like-
what their story is.
Like, do you go for commercial auditions and that kind of stuff?
Mhm.
So it's like,
Like,
look at these
all your-
365
But they
people
don't
I
look
could
at
be.
that, though.
No.
No, but you
No.
can.
Right.
You could go back and like, oh, well, this commercial's looking for this. Which one of my 365 nutters in my
Although
task
it's
can I
not
use?
exactly, like, I'm sure commercials aren't your, ideal creative goal either.
Well,
Hey
no,
man, I
just
love
like-
the paycheck.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'll sit there. I'll chew the shit out of that chicken wing. I'll also love it.
Wait a
though,
minute,
too.
you
delicious,
can eat
yeah.
chicken wings during commercials?
Some
If
of
they're-
them, yeah.
It's like Buffalo Wild Wings.
If
Beat
you're,
up?
if you're selling chicken wings, or if that's just on the craft table, I guess.
Both. A little bit of both.
I don't know where
Any
this
day.
thing came from.
Yeah. But no, there's lots of equations. And another thing is I'm one person.
Yeah.
And I had to do everything. And so
Yeah.
I had to choose, was I going to be a marketing person or was I going to be a content creator?
Yeah.
And I chose the latter. I said I have to hit my goal and I have to get content out. So that's where I'm going to focus my time and my
For sure.
energy
Yeah.
on. And I mean, like, I'm not attuned to, marketing trends or internet trends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could try and get on the tail of some things like, Beyonce's Lemonade album,
Right.
or Stranger Things, like those kinds of things that, inspire characters. But I can't do all of that. And
But also, like,
And produce a sketch in it.
yeah.
it's also
So-
like, I don't know, should you have to? Like, wouldn't the goal be to create these fun, unique characters as opposed to just being like, well, here's the thing that other people think is popular right now, so
For sure.
like
And
that's Hollywood right now. That's the problem with Hollywood right now.
I've grown to accept that and to realize that, yeah, that's not what I want.
Mhm.
I did have people throughout the year that were like referring me to other YouTube stars and being like, oh, look at what they do. Like, oh, maybe you should think about that. And I'm like, okay, great, but that's their thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to vlog. I don't want to have a camera on me all day long so
Ugh.
that people can care about what I'm doing.
People do that?
I don't want to do this
It's the internet.
person's
There's a
like,
thing for everything.
Yeah, I guess.
oh yeah, that's
I know
huge.
like Big Brother is a thing, but like
No, that's huge. Well, they're constantly like selfieing, videoing wherever they
Ugh,
are. And
yeah.
it's like shaky camera
Ugh.
for 10 minutes,
No.
and people the 10 million views, and they get
Ugh.
income from that.
right.
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, that
I'm
wasn't
interested
your
in
project.
original content. I'm original. I'm original. Whoops. I'm interested. I'm interested in growing. I'm interested in looking back, after a year and seeing what skills I've developed and how my skills have improved.
For sure.
And I was able to do that. I'm actually able to do that with my repertoire and say, okay, this video in February I did in front of a green screen versus this video in December in front of a green screen. Like, wow, look at what I've learned.
Quality-wise,
And also how fast I could pump it out.
Yeah.
So that's fucking amazing.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I wished I had celebrated that
Hey, you
more.
can still celebrate that right
Yeah,
now.
you can totally go back and celebrate that now.
Yeah, instead of just being so like harumph, like I didn't make money doing
Oh,
this,
right.
like fuck all that, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
now
art's
it's just,
not about making money, unfortunately.
but
Oops,
so
sorry.
now I'm going in a different direction, and I'm still doing things, and I've had some months to kind of think about it, and Yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
But so that, I guess, I would tell people like that are in the singledom like myself, or people that just make in groups or whatever, just to keep celebrating. Like, as long as you're doing something, and as well, that comparison to others is just like, it's brutal, and I still do it, and I'm getting better at just being like, great, it's okay, I haven't like disappeared from the ether, like just because I'm not blasting shit out every day or every month or whenever doesn't mean that people have forgotten about me. But you have that sense of like, it's stopped, this thing has stopped, and now I'm just like,
yep,
nobody knows that I exist anymore.
Feel about the fact that I'm moving at the world. Even though I'm like here for shows and I am still present on the internet, I'm like, nobody's gonna book me on anything because they'll be like, oh, she doesn't live here, I guess that means she doesn't want to work.
I mean, a lot of people are gonna forget that you don't live here.
Exactly. But that's not how we think. We're always so like trained to be so scared of everything. Yeah, like people don't give a shit, you know?
Like, they got their own shit to worry about.
Yeah, everybody else is so focused on their own shit. Yeah.
Exactly, and we have to keep reminding ourselves that.
That's a huge lesson, actually. Look, people don't care, guys. You're okay. Just chill out.
I'm going to ask you this question that's like annoying.
Oh, okay.
But what would you say as an artist, as a performer, is your biggest struggle?
Silence. Ooh.
Wait, what, is that the answer? Because that's
no.
like ironic.
That's deep.
Yeah.
My biggest struggle. I think it probably has to do with my own ego.
That's interesting and honest. Most people blame others stuff.
No, we're all equipped with egos, and this past year has been a real fucking great ego check.
Okay.
For me, in terms of like exactly what we just talked about.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone, we think, oh,
and not in a bad way, just in a
absolutely.
logistical way.
In a life way,
Exactly. Like I'm, I've got my own things to think about. You've got your own things to think about. You've got your own things. You got a family. You've got a family. I've got a family.
Mm-hmm.
We've got jobs. Well, you don't have a job. Well,
I
you
still
do have a job, but not like
not
a
the
major
9 to 5,
job.
yeah,
Exactly.
Not the life.
But to just like fucking get over yourself. No, seriously. I just needed to get over myself and be like, not everyone gives a shit about what you're doing. And that's okay. And you have to remember why you're doing what it is that you're doing. Again, if it brings you joy, what your end goal is, if any. But
it's a really incredible thing what you did. Like it's
like
huge.
The amount of work.
Like for me as well. I again from the outsider perspective, it's like when you see people working that hard, that's the people that you want to be like, oh, okay, so she made these 365 characters. Like naturally, this TV show picked her up to write for whatever, like because obviously the work is there, but and you can see that it's like how willing she is to work, but and to do and to make fun things, but it is kind of a bitch when you're like, oh no, that's not how the world works.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't work that way. Just because I do this does not mean that people are going to be interested in it. Does not mean I'm going to get hired. To write for something doesn't mean I'm going to get my own TV show. Doesn't mean I'm going to make $1 million.
Yeah. No, and it's not a judgment on you. It's just
luck
so
of the
many
draw.
things. Luck of the draw. So many things have to click.
Yeah, definitely.
And don't.
And it doesn't mean that down the line you won't get paid to do something cool.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So I think my biggest struggle is just my ego, and it's something working on myself this year has been really important.
Cool.
I haven't been performing in as many shows as I usually do, because usually I'm like, I'm so hungry to perform.
But how do you feel about that though? I think there are a lot of people who make that transition. Like you're like, I don't need to do all those shows. Or do you feel like
I think that it'll come back maybe.
Okay.
But I mean, this is my 10th year doing comedy.
Cool.
So I don't know. I guess I'm just like, I don't want to say I've been grinding so hard, because everyone fucking is grinding. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like everyone's grinding.
You can grind. You can say you're grinding.
Sometimes you're just grinding and you're like, all right, I've been grinding for a bit. Like maybe I just want to hit the brakes,
That's fair as well.
Yeah, so I've kind of just taken a little bit more of a personal reset, because this is my life, and I don't want to be busting my ass off really hard and being resentful about it. I want to be busting my ass working really hard on the things that I like.
That's why it seems like such a cool fit that this next project you're working on is like, is coming to be. First of all, because it sounds like it's stuff that you like to do, but also that it's not the same. It's not like, I'm going to go up there and do another improv show tonight, or I'm going to go up there and do like this show again or whatever. It's like, it's different and it's unique and it's refreshing for that reason. And I think people are afraid to make those kinds of decisions.
Yeah.
Right? To be like, oh yeah, but if I go out to BC, then I won't be able to do, Friday night, whatever,
Right. But I've learned that it's kind of Murphy's Law. It's always going to be that, you book time off from your agent. And of course that's when, how many times have I been on vacation and they're like, you're on hold for something, or you have a callback. And I was like, I told you I'm not available. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just, you're never going to be able to win in terms of timing.
No.
So live your life.
Yeah.
Live it, because you're the only one that can do that. So go and fucking buy a house in Niagara.
Yeah.
And,
I will.
Yeah, man. And be happy and save your money and, do stuff. And then keep teaching at Second City and keep making podcasts because one day you're not going to be here.
It's true.
And you got this left behind for people to hear, other generations.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
It's true though, it's very selfish to be thinking, okay, I'm leaving something behind, but it's like you are, and that's okay. You can leave something behind for somebody else to see.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it that way. It was more like
the internet lives forever, Brie.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, but what if it doesn't? What if we're just gonna go like totally
just reverse so and go back to like the 80s where there was no internet.
Yeah. And then maybe there's going to be another ice age, and then we'll get back to this point, and then we'll rediscover the internet, and there's going to be all of this.
And people would be like, well, this is obviously what led to the downfall of that
exactly.
civilization.
People are spending way too much time on Twitter and not enough time worried about global warming.
What does hashtag hustle mean? What is that? Yeah. So, just
making history, kids.
Yeah. So, biggest struggle is ego. And also with my own ego and in terms of not putting so much pressure on myself to like be the best at everything. There's so many times in the last couple of years, I'd say it's gotten worse. I used to go out and do improv and be like really loose and free, and then the last couple of years I just like put all this tremendous pressure on myself to like be the best and like make the best
great
offer.
For improv.
Yeah.
You're nobodying yourself.
So I feel really anxious and not great on stage. So that doesn't help me.
No.
So now I'm just like, who cares, man? If you're on there with a group of people, like even if you just contribute a sentence, great.
Yeah.
Who cares? You put something out there.
Like you could go in and give like just a line. It doesn't
exactly.
You don't have to be like the
you don't
star
have to be
of
the
the
star.
show every
no,
night.
absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put that pressure. Stop putting that pressure on myself. I'm an only child. I'm the first and the last in the children's spectrum. So, I just felt like I always had a tremendous amount of pressure to like always have my parents' approval and people's approval. So. Let's just say we had to take a pee break.
Yeah,
we took a pee break.
It's truthful. People pee, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you don't think that they don't pause or listen to this peeing sometimes?
Oh, I wonder. I hope you're listening to it while you pee right now.
We should have an episode where all we do is pee throughout the whole.
No, then we would have to. You and I would have to record this in the same bathroom.
It'd sound weird.
You're concerned about the sound more than anything
quality
else.
would not be great.
Right.
Live streaming.
Oh,
wow.
Ooh,
no. Ooh. That was a dad one.
That's why I feel so great about that joke.
Guys, we're going to end on that, I think.
That's a great place to end it. # struggle on.
Thanks for coming, Moni.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is cool. Thanks for letting me talk for so long.
Oh, it was so much fun.
It was great.
Yay.
I'm looking forward to your Lady Anthony Bourdain version of traveling through British Columbia.
All right.
We'll put all your social media stuff up here so people can follow you because you should all follow.
And we'll forgive you if you eat any foam-related food stuff.
Actually, I mean, I will forgive you, but I want to see more foam.
Oh, you want more
I
foam?
like
Okay.
more foam. As much foam as possible.
And maybe one like smoke bubble.
Yeah.
One smoke bubble.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's the hashtag journey, I guess.
Yeah.
Bucket list. And I want to see you guys go and eat Indian buffet.
We
I want
will.
you to go to Little India.
We'll report back.
Yeah.
I'm going to be listening to this when Brie posts it and writing that down.
Okay.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Have a bon voyage.
Oh, thank you. We'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
Start off.
If you liked this interview with Moniquea Marion, check out our past interviews on iTunes. Look up the Constant Struggle Podcast.